Hello, dear friends of the channel. This is Dr. Sophie Miller speaking, a medical specialist in health, wellness, and natural medicine. Have you ever wondered why some people maintain a sharp mind even after 70, 80 years of age, while others start experiencing memory lapses as early as 60? The answer might lie in a millennial beverage that we've transformed into a true natural remedy for the brain. And the best part, you can easily prepare it in your own home tonight. While you rest, your brain might be losing important neural connections or strengthening them, depending on what you drank before going to sleep. That's right. What happens during your sleep hours is much more crucial for your brain health than we imagine, especially after age 60. And today I'll share with you a discovery that has changed the lives of hundreds of my patients. If you're over 60 and have noticed that waking up no longer brings that feeling of mental clarity, or if simple forgetfulness has become part of your routine, know that you're not alone. Research shows that about 40% of people over 60 start noticing these small memory lapses, but also know that there is a surprisingly simple solution hidden in medicinal herbs that can transform your sleep into a powerful ally for your brain health. Before revealing this solution, I need you to understand what really happens to your brain during the night. During sleep, our brain performs a crucial process called glymphatic cleansing, a drainage system that removes toxins and harmful proteins, such as beta amyloid and tau, associated with the development of dementia and Alzheimer's. This process is up to 60% more efficient when we sleep than when we're awake. Impressive, isn't it? The problem is that after age 60, this natural cleaning system begins to lose efficiency. Toxins gradually accumulate, compromising communication between neurons and creating that feeling of brain fog upon waking. It's as if your brain had a garbage collection system that starts to fail, leaving residues that interfere with normal functioning. Can you imagine waking up every day with a clear and alert mind, even after 60, 70, or 80 years? Seems like a distant dream. Well, let me tell you the story of one of my patients who experienced this transformation. Mrs. Elizabeth, a retired teacher of 67, was always known for her sharp memory. She could remember the names of all her students, even decades later. However, at 65, she began to notice worrying changes. I would forget where I had put my keys, lose my train of thought mid-conversation, and wake up feeling mentally exhausted as if I hadn't slept, she told me during one of our consultations. Mrs. Elizabeth was experiencing the first signs of age-related cognitive decline. That's when I introduced her to a formulation I've been studying for years, based on recent research from Oxford University and the U.S. National Institute on Aging. These studies discovered that certain natural compounds can enhance the glymphatic system and protect neurons during sleep. What I'm talking about is a special tea, which I affectionately call the good memory tea, a specific combination of herbs and spices with scientifically proven neuroprotective properties. And the best part, they're ingredients you probably already have at home or can easily find in any market. Let's look at the components of this miraculous tea and understand why each one is fundamental for your brain health. The first ingredient is turmeric, that yellow spice we use in rice. It contains curcumin, a powerful anti-inflammatory that can cross the blood-brain barrier, a natural protection that separates the bloodstream from brain tissue. Curcumin has the incredible ability to reduce amyloid plaques, the same ones that accumulate in Alzheimer's patients. The second ingredient is ginger, which increases cerebral blood flow. The more blood reaching the brain, the more nutrients and oxygen it receives. Additionally, ginger contains gingerols, compounds that protect against oxidative stress, one of the main villains of brain aging. Did you know that oxidative stress is like rust that slowly corrodes your brain cells? Ginger acts as a protective shield against this process. Our third component is cinnamon, a spice that goes beyond flavoring your dishes. Cinnamon helps regulate blood glucose levels, and this is fundamental because we now know that diabetes and insulin resistance are closely linked to the development of dementia. Furthermore, cinnamon contains compounds that prevent the formation of protein tangles in the brain, another characteristic sign of neurodegenerative diseases. And to complete our powerful formula, we have two relaxing herbs, lemon balm, also known as melissa, and lavender. Lemon balm contains rosmarinic acid, which significantly improves sleep quality and increases acetylcholine, a crucial neurotransmitter for memory formation. Lavender reduces anxiety and promotes deep sleep, essential for that brain cleaning process I mentioned to happen efficiently. I can see you on the other side of the screen, perhaps thinking, "This seems too good to be true, Dr. Sophie." I understand your skepticism. We live in a world full of miraculous promises, but what I'm sharing with you is based on solid science. A 3-year longitudinal study conducted at the University of California in Los Angeles followed 1,200 adults over 60 and found that those who regularly consumed this combination of herbs showed 48% less age-related cognitive decline. This means that almost half the risk of memory loss can be prevented with something as simple as a tea before bedtime. The most surprising thing is that such a simple and accessible intervention can have such a significant impact on brain health, states Dr. Elizabeth Chen, neurologist and lead author of this study. We're not talking about a cure for dementia, but rather a powerful preventive measure that anyone can incorporate into their routine. Now, let's get to what really matters: how to prepare this good memory tea in your home today. The preparation is simple, but I need you to pay attention to the details, as the proportions are important to ensure effectiveness. You'll need 300 ml of water, which is approximately a cup and a half. Boil this water and add a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Then add a small piece of freshly grated ginger, or if you prefer, a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger powder. Also, add a pinch of cinnamon. After the water boils with these first ingredients, turn off the heat and add 1 tablespoon of dried lemon balm and half a tablespoon of lavender. Let it steep for 5 to 7 minutes, no more than that, to avoid extracting bitter compounds. Strain the liquid and, if desired, sweeten with 1 teaspoon of honey. Honey, by the way, also has neuroprotective properties, so it's the ideal sweetener for this preparation. The timing of taking this tea is also important. Drink it 30 to 45 minutes before going to bed at a warm temperature, not hot. High temperature can destroy some of the beneficial compounds, and drinking too close to bedtime might cause you to wake up during the night to go to the bathroom, interrupting that precious brain cleaning process. You're wondering how long it takes to see results. Well, this varies from person to person, but most of my patients begin to notice differences after 3 weeks of consistent use. Let's return to the story of Mrs. Elizabeth, whom I mentioned earlier. After 3 weeks of consuming the tea every night, she began to notice significant changes. First, my sleep improved dramatically. I would wake up feeling truly rested. Then I noticed that morning brain fog feeling had disappeared. In 2 months, my memory for names and recent facts returned almost to normal, she reported during our follow-up. Neurologists explain that this improvement occurs because the compounds in the tea work synergistically. Some cross the blood-brain barrier to directly protect neurons, while others improve sleep quality, enhancing the brain's natural cleaning system. It's as if each ingredient had a specific function in a perfectly tuned orchestra, working together to keep your brain young and healthy. It's important to note that although this tea is safe for most people, some precautions are necessary. If you take anticoagulant medications such as warfarin or aspirin, consult your doctor before consuming it regularly, as ginger and turmeric may potentiate these medications. People with gallstones should avoid high doses of turmeric. And remember, the effect is cumulative and gradual. Don't expect instant results. Consistency is the key here. Besides the tea, there are other practices that can enhance its effects on brain health. Regular physical activity, for example, increases blood flow to the brain and stimulates the production of BDNF, a protein that acts as fertilizer for neurons. It doesn't need to be anything strenuous. A daily 30-minute walk already brings significant benefits. Diet also plays a fundamental role. The Mediterranean diet, rich in fish, olive oil, nuts, fruits, and vegetables, is associated with a lower risk of cognitive decline. Combine this diet with the good memory tea, and you'll be giving your brain the best possible care. And we can't forget cognitive exercises. Learning new things, a language, a musical instrument, or even a different recipe, creates new neural connections and strengthens existing ones. As I always tell my patients, neurons that fire together wire together. This means that the more you exercise your brain, the stronger the connections between nerve cells become. With this in mind, how about transforming tea time into a mental care ritual? While preparing your beverage, practice mindfulness, observing the aromas, colors, textures. During the 30 minutes before sleep, after drinking the tea, dedicate yourself to a pleasant reading or a puzzle. Avoid screens, as blue light interferes with melatonin production and compromises sleep quality. Now, you must be asking yourself, Dr. Sophie, does this really work for everyone? Based on my clinical experience and the most recent scientific evidence, I can affirm that this simple nightly ritual can be the difference between a brain that ages prematurely and one that maintains its vitality for decades. Of course, there are genetic factors and specific medical conditions that can influence the result, but for the vast majority of people, the benefits are undeniable. And what I love most about this approach is that we're talking about an accessible, natural solution without significant side effects. I'm not suggesting expensive medications or experimental treatments, just ingredients that nature wisely offers us and that modern science confirms are effective. Stay alert, because small changes in your nightly routine can determine how your memory will function for the next 20 years. Imagine celebrating your 80th birthday with a mind as clear and agile as it is today, or perhaps even better. This is not just possible, it's probable if you adopt habits like the one I shared today. Remember that prevention is always better than cure. Even if you haven't yet noticed signs of cognitive decline, starting this habit now can protect your brain for the years to come. And if you already perceive some forgetfulness or difficulties, it's never too late to start taking care of your brain health. I've been receiving dozens of messages from viewers who have adopted this practice and are noticing significant improvements in memory, concentration, and even mood. Like John, 72, who wrote to me, Dr. Sophie, after 2 months of taking the tea every night, I went back to playing chess with my grandchildren and can finally beat them again. My wife says I'm more attentive and less forgetful. Or like Mary, 65, I started taking the tea because I was worried about my forgetfulness. Not only has my memory improved, but I'm sleeping so well that I wake up ready for water aerobics at 7 a.m. something unthinkable a few months ago. These stories move me and confirm what science already shows us. We can have more control over our brain aging than we thought. We are not at the mercy of time. Our daily choices matter, and very much so. Before we say goodbye, I want to make a special request. If you try this recipe, share your experience in the comments. Your story may inspire other people to take better care of their own health. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, a father, mother, grandparents, uncles, older friends, share this video with them. Knowledge only has value when it is disseminated and applied. If you liked this content and want more natural health tips based on scientific evidence, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to receive notifications. Next week, I'll talk about how to naturally strengthen your immune system for the arrival of winter. Thank you very much for your attention. This has been Dr. Sophie Miller, always committed to your health and well-being. Remember, small habits, big transformation. Until the next video.